So we're gonna bring our knees just a little bit further open, maybe past the mat. We're gonna sink down into the hips. And when we're ready, we're gonna stretch down, bringing our chest to the mat. Stretching those fingers forward as far as they'll go. We're gonna start to get into the shoulder blades. And if it feels good, we can rest our head on the mat as well. We're gonna take a moment just to drop in. Start to feel a little bit more connected to our bodies, to our breath. Start to open the back of the lungs. Becoming more aware of our surroundings. If it feels good, we can add a little movement side to side. Start to get into those hip sockets a little bit. While we're dropping into ourselves, becoming more present and aware, maybe we can bring something to mind that we'd like to shift or change today. Maybe something in our lives that we're just ready to let go of. Anything at all. And we're going to take a deep breath into that thought, into that manifestation, and exhale it out. And when we're ready, we're going to slowly press ourselves up. We're going to walk those hands all the way back. We're going to bring that chest up and our head up. And on the inhale, let's sweep those arms up overhead. Place those palms together. Really just stretch forward, arching the back slightly, waking up the front body. And exhale, we're going to come down back to our child's pose. We're going to do this a few more times, and each time maybe we can add a little bit more speed. So let's inhale, let's curl the spine upwards, reach those arms up overhead, arch the back, and exhale down. Good, let's try it again. Inhale, arch the back, reach up overhead. And exhale one more time. Here we go. Inhale up. Roll through that spine. Palms up and together. And on the next exhale, we're going to bring both arms down to the side. Keeping that chest arched if we can, looking up to the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to press that spine back and tuck the chin. So we're doing a little bit of a cat-cow, but this time we're sitting instead of all fours. So inhale, spine forward, head up. Exhale, spine back, chin tucked. Good. Couple more times. Tying it to our breath, we're opening up that center area. Getting some blood flow to the spine. And we'll come back to center. From here, let's bring ourselves to the center. We're going to take our arms, bring them up overhead one more time. And exhale, bring that right arm down. We're going to come to the elbow if we can. And let that left arm fold overhead. Whatever amount is all right. If you want to just come to the hand, that's okay too. And from here, see if we can rotate the chest up to the sky. Breathing into that side body. Good. Pressing that left hip down away from the chest. And on our next inhale, let's reach the arms back up to center. Inhale up. And exhale, left side. Bringing our our arm down as far as it'll go, reaching overhead. Pressing that right hip into the floor and rotating the body upward. Breathing. Every exhale, we're relaxing some of the muscles, softening that side body. Beautiful. Let's come back to center. And from here, when we're ready, we're going to roll over to all fours. If we can, let's tuck those toes underneath us. Bring those hands under the shoulders, spreading the fingers wide. And from here, we're going to send our hips back and rock forward, keeping our spine neutral, maybe engaging the center. Ourselves a little rock back to the heels and forward past the wrists if we can. Starting to wake up those joints. For more intensity, add your center lock. Bring that belly button to the spine, engaging that center even more. When we're ready, let's roll back to the balls of our feet, pressing those hands back with us. We're going to come up all the way into our seated frog. So we can stay on the balls of those feet. We can also come down to the heels if it's in our practice, leaving those arms out in front of us to help us balance. Breathing nice and tall, opening the chest. And when we're ready, let's go ahead and straighten those legs, send those hips up, find our forward fold. Dropping the crown, opening up the back a little bit more, tucking those hip bones back to us. And breathe. Finding an even deeper breath here. If it feels good, we can rock side to side, starting to open up the backs of those legs. And on the next inhale, bending those knees slightly, we're going to roll up to standing, stacking the spine, getting all the way up into our mountain pose. Nice and strong here. Our legs are engaged. We're pressing into the floor. Rolling those palms forwards. And on the inhale, let's sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back. Exhale down. Let's walk those hands to high plank. From here, let's go to chaturanga. See if we can lower halfway and then press ourselves up into upward dog. Yes, keeping those knees off the floor if we can. And on the next exhale, tucking the toes, sending ourselves back to downward dog. Walking those feet out if it feels good. Some grounding, feeling the space in between our feet and the floor. From here, we're going to bend and straighten those knees just a little bit, a few times. So on the inhale, we're going to bend those knees, staying in downward dog, send the hips back, and then straighten on the exhale. Let's try it a few times on our own. Inhale. Exhale, really getting into those toes. Inhale, exhale out. Lifting those hips higher with each breath. Inhale, exhale all the way up. One more time. Inhale down. Exhale all the way back. Very nice. When we're ready, looking up to the hands, walk those feet there, finding our forward fold. Taking a moment, feeling our heartbeat, checking back in. Good. When we're ready, let's inhale, sweeping those arms up all the way to the sky, looking at the thumbs. And exhale to heart center. Good. Pressing those hands together, starting to engage the back. On the inhale, let's sweep those arms up. And exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lift to flat spine. Exhale, down, plant those hands. We're going to step back to high plank. Floating through chaturanga. See if we can challenge ourselves. Keep ourselves off the mat the whole time. Inhale, up to upward dog. And exhale, send those hips back to downward dog. Very nice. Dropping the head, maybe shaking the head yes and no. Getting all that tension out. Breathing between those shoulder blades. Finding space in the body. Good. On our next inhale, let's take that right leg all the way up to the sky, pointing the toes, finding our three-legged dog. And let's see if we can bend our knee. So that right knee is now going to bend. And we're going to make big circles. So bringing that knee down next to the other leg and up and around. We're going to start to open up that hip joint while staying in downward dog. Yes. And when we're ready, on the exhale, let's bring that leg through, place it between the hands, and find our runner's lunge. Beautiful. Flattening the back as much as we can, looking out into the future. Good. Staying here for a moment, let's plant that left arm down. We're going to reach the right arm up into our twist. Finding that space in the spine. Rotating the chest up towards the sky. From here, you're welcome to stay here if that feels good. You can also challenge yourself. We're going to keep our legs in runner's lunge, and we're going to come up into a standing, but bring that right arm back to your thigh as the left arm comes overhead. So this is a slightly twisted reverse warrior. Beautiful. And on your exhale, we're going to bring those arms back down, finding our runner's lunge. Nice job, everybody. From here, dropping that left knee, we're going to bring ourselves up, and we're going to lean into that leg. So see how much we can get into that hip as we lengthen the spine upwards. Breathing, opening up that psoas. If it feels good for us, we can take the right arm around and grab that leg, bring it up to us as close as we can for an excellent stretch in the thigh. When we're ready, let's unwind ourselves. Drop those hands down. We're going to step back into high plank And slowly take our chaturanga. Lower halfway, press up, upward dog. And exhale, float back to downward dog. Good. If it feels good, always walking those legs out. Maybe wagging the tail side to side. Good. From here, let's take the other side, lifting the left leg all the way up, pointing the toes, three-legged dog. Finding some grounding in our hands and that right leg. Let's bend the left knee and find our leg circles. So allow that hip joint to open up. Tying it to our breath, breathing deeply. And when we're ready, take that leg, bring it through, finding our runner's lunge. Good. Flattening that back if we can. See how deep we can get into that right hip. Beautiful. Taking a deep breath in. When we're ready, let's plant the right hand. We're going to lift the left side up, finding our twisted lunge. Making sure we're breathing deeply, letting go slowly but surely. On the exhale, let's bring that left arm back down. Let's drop that right knee, bring our torso up. And from here, we're going to lean into our hip. If we can, lifting from the heart space, going as low as we'd like. And if it feels good for us, we can take it a step further. Reaching around, grabbing that right leg, pulling it towards us. The closer you bring that leg in, the more intense the stretch. Beautiful. Keep it breathing, deep breath in. And on the exhale, we'll unwind ourselves. Let's plant the hands down. We're going to step back into chaturanga, floating down. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, send the hips back, finding our downward dog. Good. Finding strength in our hands, in our toes, walking those feet out once more. On your next inhale, looking up to the hands, let's walk our feet there, finding our forward fold. Good. Inhale, lift. We're going to find flat back. And exhale down. Inhale, lift all the way up, sweeping the arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. Very nice. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. Feeling our heartbeat. Good. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, lift to flat back. And exhale down. Plant the hands, step back to high plank. Let's float down through chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, float those hips back to downward dog. Great job. Taking a moment here, maybe coming back to that thought at the beginning of class, that thing that you'd like to shift in your world. Take a couple deep breaths, breathe into that thing. ready, let's take that right leg, let's sweep it up to the sky, three-legged dog. And on the exhale, let's bring that leg through all the way to runner's lunge once more. And from here, dropping the left leg, we're going to bring ourselves up to warrior one. Sweep those arms up to the sky. Very nice. Go as low as you can, finding that support in the legs. And when we're ready, opening up to warrior two. Bring those palms up if you like, engaging the shoulder blades. Good. With each inhale, we rise a little taller, and each exhale, we sink down. Let's take that left arm down, right arm overhead for reverse warrior. Breathing into the side body. And exhale, passing through center. Drop the right elbow down, left arm overhead. Got our side angle. Feeling that stretch from the left toes all the way through the left fingers. Beautiful. If it's within your practice today, you can also drop that right arm down to the floor for a little more intensity. Good. Let's come up back to warrior two. Sweep those arms open. We're going to straighten that right leg. And when we're ready, reaching out and over into our triangle pose. You can place your hand on the floor, on the leg, whatever feels good today. Really getting into those hamstrings. Finding our breath. Taking a deep inhale. On the exhale, let's sweep that left arm down. From here, we're going to rotate that left foot inwards and lift the heel. So that way our hips are square. Now from here, we're going to attempt to stay over that right leg, keeping it straight. So we're in a forward triangle now. If it feels a little too intense, we can bend that knee. But let's try to keep it straight if we can, and fold that chest over top. Pressing that right hip back and left hip forward, so we get more squared off hips. Good. When we're ready, let's bend that right leg. We're going to lift that left leg up off the floor, and we'll find our half moon. Finding our balance here. Lifting the arms out in front or behind, whatever feels good today. Pointing that back toe. Finding power in the glutes. If you want to take your practice a little further, you can drop the hands down to the mat and find your true standing split. Folding over that front leg, lifting the back leg all the way up. Good. When we're ready, let's slowly bring our feet together and find that forward fold. Very nice. On the inhale, let's lift up to flat back. Exhale down. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a moment for ourselves, breathing deeply. finding our heartbeat, coming back to our bodies, to our mats. And on the inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to flat back. Exhale, down, plant the hands. Let's step back to high plank. Float down through chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, float those hips back to downward dog. Very nice. Finding some comfort in this upside down position. Flipping our perspectives. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. When we're ready, let's inhale that left leg all the way up, finding our three-legged dog. Stretching through the toes. On that exhale, let's bring the leg through. We're going to plant it in runner's lunge, drop the right leg back, and we're going to lift ourselves up to warrior one. See how far we can get into those knees, challenging ourselves. Beautiful. Every inhale, we're lifting the spine. Every exhale, we're lowering more into the legs. Good. Let's open up to warrior two, spreading those collarbones, looking forward. And on your exhale, drop that right arm down. Left arm overhead for reverse warrior. Beautiful. Opening up that side body. And on your next exhale, pass through center, drop the arm down, and right arm overhead for side angle. Feeling that line of energy between your fingers all the way to your toes. And if this is enough for you, you can stay here. If you want to challenge, you can reach down, grab the floor. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. On the exhale, let's bring ourselves back up to warrior two, straightening that left leg, and we'll reach out and over into triangle pose. Grabbing wherever you can, see if we can rotate the torso up to the sky. Breathing deep, finding your heartbeat. On your next exhale, let's rotate. Bring both of those arms down. We're gonna rotate the right toes inwards and lift the heel off the floor. So that way we square those hips off. And from here, attempting to keep that left leg straight, we're gonna bring our torso over top. Feeling our hamstrings. If we need to bend that left leg a little bit, that's all right. Wherever we are is okay. It's part of our own journey. Attempting to straighten those legs if we can. Ready? Let's bend that left knee. We're gonna bring our torso over that foot and lift the back leg into our half moon. We can bring our hands behind us or in front. Whatever works for us today. Let's point that back toe, lift from the glutes, you need a challenge, you can also fold forward, lift that right leg up off, and find our standing split. Holding that torso over the knee. Good, taking a deep breath in. On the exhale, let's drop everything, bring those toes together, finding our forward fold. Beautiful, lift up to flat back. Exhale down. Inhale, let's sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring them to heart center. Taking a moment here. Finding some oxygen. Feeling our heartbeats. Dropping back into the body. Good. From here, let's inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up to flat back. Exhale down, plant the hands. We're going to step back to high plank. Float down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, find our downward dog. Lifting those hips. Perhaps finding a new spot for our feet on the floor. Challenging ourselves to find different sensations in the body. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. When we're ready, let's lift up that right leg one more time, finding our three-legged dog. And on the exhale, let's bring that knee through to the chest, and we'll find our pigeon pose. So wherever we are, see if you can get that knee close to that right wrist. We're going to straighten that back leg out, press our torso upwards. See if you can square those hips off as much as possible. And from here, if it feels good for us, we'll lower down over the leg. We can rest our head on those hands if that feels good. And we'll stay here for a moment, so really try to breathe, relax, soften into that glute muscle. With every exhale, see how much more we can release, how much more we can let go. Let's take a couple more deep breaths here in this space, releasing as much as we can. And when we're ready, slowly pressing our way back up to seated. Good, let's press those hands into the mat when we're ready. Tucking the toe under, and we'll step back into our chaturanga, our high plank. We're gonna lower down, lifting up to upward dog. And exhale, finding our downward dog. Good, walking those legs out, feeling the hips, seeing if anything has shifted from the beginning of class to now. Your next inhale, lifting the left leg up, finding our three-legged dog. And on the exhale, bring that knee through to the chest, hold for a moment, and bring it through to our pigeon position. See if you can get that left knee into the left wrist. Squaring those hips off. And when we're ready, floating down. Really sinking into that glute. Making as much space as possible. Good. With every exhale, sinking down a little bit more. Letting the belly release. Good. Feeling the heartbeat. Ready, let's slowly come back up, pressing our way back, lifting the torso. Pressing those hands into the mat, we're going to tuck the toe, press back to high plank, and lower down through chaturanga, lifting to upward dog. Exhale, finding our way to downward dog. Good, let's take a couple breaths here. Dropping that chest a little bit more to the floor to stretch out those shoulder blades. When we're ready, let's bend our knees all the way. Send those hips back. We're going to look up to the hands, jump between them, finding a seated position, and right away, let's go up to our boat pose. So from here, leaning back, we're going to try to get our legs to parallel with the mat. You can hold under the knees or you can let go. Lifting the chest. If this feels good, you can always try to straighten those legs. Very nice. We're ready, let's lower down nice and slow. Very nice. We're going to bring our arms behind us, pressing into the palms. And from here, we're going to go into reverse plank. So we can straighten those legs, press our hips upwards, and let that head release behind. Using those hands and heels, pressing the pelvis upwards. Good, let's slowly lower down. Very nice. From here, lifting those knees, we're gonna hug around them for a second, rock side to side. Allowing ourselves to just release those muscles. And when we're ready, let's bring those knees all the way together. We're gonna curl the belly. So we're gonna press our abs inwards and we're gonna slowly roll down. So using our center muscles, slowly release all the way. Very nice. From here, let's bring the soles of our feet together. We're going to let our knees go out to the side, opening into those hips. Good. If it feels nice for us, we can bring our hands to our hip joints, maybe to our belly, or maybe off to the side. We're going to hang here for just a moment, breathing into those hip sockets. Beginning our cool down from the practice. Letting our back release down into the mat. Softening the belly. Letting the hips go. even softening the muscles in the face, the neck, the tongue, sometimes even our brows. Starting to sink down further and further into the mat. If it feels good, we can even keep our eyes closed here. Start to drop into the breath in the body. Feeling our heartbeat, our blood pumping through the body. Our energetic body is starting to recharge. And from here, let's take our kneecaps. We're going to grab them with our hands. We're going to hold them out to the sides. We can even make big circles with them if that feels nice. Just allowing the legs to be heavy. And reaching up, see if we can grab the ankles or the toes. And we're going to bring ourselves up to happy baby. Opening the hips and the knees all the way out. We can rock side to side. Good. Breathing into the belly. From here, let's straighten those legs out. We'll bring them in and together. See if we can straighten those knees, holding onto the ankles. We're welcome to stay here. If you want to take it one step further, you can release the toes, grab the floor, and bring ourselves up and over into our shoulder stand. Make sure we keep the neck safe by rolling the shoulders underneath us. Good. Taking our time, slowly releasing. Bringing the low back to our mats. And slowly allowing our feet to lengthen all the way to our final position of Shavasana today. From here, we'll take a moment of silence so we can drop into our bodies and listen to any insights that come up as we conclude our practice today. Bring some life back to our bodies. Wiggling our fingers and toes, giving ourselves a shimmy, vibrating that body back awake. And taking our time, let's roll over to the right side. And from this position, pressing ourselves back up to seated. Taking a few more moments here. Feeling all the gratitude for taking the time to work on our bodies today. Working on our connection and our awareness. Bringing our hands to heart center. Let's bow down our heads to our hands, to our hearts, for always honoring ourselves, for honoring our own heart's path. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. It's always a pleasure. Namaste.